Russia is accusing the United States of fighting a proxy or indirect war against it. Kremlin officials have slammed Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky's visit to Washington, warning that new weapon systems from the United States will not help end the conflict, nor stop Russia from achieving its goals. Mr. Zelenskyy made the 10-hour trip to the White House and Congress as he works to ensure continued and even stepped-up funding from America.
The President of Ukraine.
Thunderous applause and a lengthy standing ovation. That's what greeted Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy the moment he set foot in the U.S. Congress. His whirlwind visit considered monumental, as the leader had not left his country since Russia's invasion began in February. In a rousing address, Mr. Zelenskyy thanked lawmakers for their unwavering support for Ukraine.
The battle is not only for life, freedom and security of Ukrainians or any other nation which Russia attempts to conquer. This struggle will define in what world our children and grandchildren will live, and then their children and grandchildren. It will define whether it will be a democracy of Ukrainians and for Americans for all.
The timing of Mr. Zelenskyy's trip was crucial, as Congress was preparing to vote on an additional $45 billion in military, economic and humanitarian aid for Kyiv. He told lawmakers that their money is not charity but an investment in global security, and assured Americans that the funds aren't being wasted in Ukraine. Mr. Zelenskyy urged Congress to continue providing weapons and aid through the winter and beyond, adding the battle can't be frozen and postponed. President Biden ensured his Ukrainian counterpart didn't leave the U.S. empty-handed. Washington unveiled an additional $1.85 billion in security assistance for Ukraine. That includes the transfer of the Advanced Patriot Air Defense System, a key bulwark against Russian bombardments. The two leaders met at the Oval Office before heading in for a meeting with other cabinet officials. Mr. Biden has pledged to continue standing by Ukraine amid growing skepticism about Washington's heavy spending on the war.
This year has brought so much needless suffering and loss to the Ukrainian people. But I want you to know, President Zelenskyy, I want you to know that all the people of Ukraine to know as well. The American people have been with you every step of the way, and we will stay with you. We will stay with you for as long as it takes.
While Mr. Zelenskyy returned home with new commitments from Washington, he seemed aware that the winds could shift in Congress, as Republicans are set to take control of the House of Representatives next month.
В складі Конгресу двопалатна і двопартійна підтримка буде зберігатись.
Ending his quick stopover in Washington, Mr. Zelenskyy handed House Speaker Nancy Pelosi a Ukrainian flag signed by the soldiers on the front lines in Bakhmut.